Hi, my name is Phyllis Y. Whitley. Welcome to Spiritology Live. Together, we'll break free from religious shackles and elevate your journey toward higher consciousness and transformative self-discovery as we breathe life into my Amazon best-selling book, Spiritology. Each episode, we will dive deep into the spirituality, metaphysics, and holistic well-being, offering you the tools to master and manifest your promised land today. Yes, let's go. Hello. Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? I don't know. I don't think so. We are going to be talking about or continuing the series that I put together about being spiritually constipated. Yes, I said it. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody don't go in my bathroom, Miss P. I went in your bathroom because spiritual constipation is coming into three major forms. And I talked about it in a previous podcast. If you haven't listened to it, please go back. Because, see, you can be spiritually constipated in your relationship. Those of y'all know about that. Recap, relationships where the person left you, your man or your woman left you, or they was just dragging you on until they found somebody they wanted to marry. Y'all know about that? Living with you for 10 years and then met somebody in 3 months they married them. Well, you need to go back and listen to that because you could be spiritually constipated because you don't even know how to go on. You don't even know how to move on. And then if you do move on, you bring that soul spirit to your next relationship. For example, the person called you and they cancel dinner and say, hey, listen, I'm studying. I got some study to do. I got to work late. The first thing you do is you jump up, you get defensive. I know what he doing. She. You don't believe them. You know why? Because you're having flashbacks. You're recording what happened in that last relationship, or at least if you had that relationship and you had no clue that they was cheating on you, then you become a detective, a spy. No, Miss P. Yes, you do. Don't tell me you didn't become. Everybody have been a detective. Whether you got up and dressed up and went and followed them, shame on you. I know you laughing because many of you know you did it. Or you might have just sat back and you went and I have literally talked to people, or should I say, in some sense, try to mentor, because not everybody can be mentored because they just don't want to know who their true self is. But I recall a lady who she had tracked her ex, and then she was very frustrated because every time she looked at the tracker, he was in the neighborhood of his old ex. Now with technology, people are tracking. That's a detective work. They're going online. Miss P, I've never done that. I never got that low. No, you might have not got dressed because you're like, I'm not getting dressed and I'm not following him. But guess what you did? You went on the social media. We ain't together, but I don't understand why he got this female he's showing. He ain't never showed me that way, like that. So do you understand? If you don't, go and look at your spiritual constipation and relationship. The next one we went to was self-image. Now, I probably could have done self-image first, but the self-image really captured your constipation because those of you who allow yourself to be verbally abused, even physically abused, it's a constipation there because you don't even know who you are. In order to know who you are, you have to know who your higher self is. You can't have a higher conscious unless you know who your higher self is. And if you don't have a higher self, it's people just walking the earth. I don't believe in God, but you mad at something, someone. How do I know? Because if I mention God, you get angry. It's confusing to me because I look at people and I'm like, how do you walk the earth and you can see the stars and you can see the sun, you can see the clouds, you can see everything is moving at a certain time, everything is organized. And you sit back and you look at it knowing you can't touch the sun, knowing you can't touch the cloud, knowing that even when a hurricane comes, you can't do anything, you helpless. It amazed me that those people look up and say, ain't no God. Who you think running everything? You can't run it as man or woman. You are limited in this body of what you can run. So it just amazed me when people say my life is messed up from the floor up. And then I was like, who is your supreme? I mean, I don't believe in God. I'm like, that's why you messed up from the floor. But God already I say, you always will hear me say universal laws, universe one is only one God. And if you can't believe the things that's going on, please go and get the sun and bring it to me. If you don't believe it's something beyond you, I dare you to go in the water, jump in the ocean. Hello? And see what happens. Yes, God said go out and multiply and become, you're supposed to have dominion over these things, but we're limited in this body. So in order for you to get connected, you better go and have a higher self. The self-image constipation is all about you. And it's all about what's behind it. I don't want to go forth and give you some information, but you got to go back and look at that. Listen to that, sweetie. With that being said, the last one is finances. Because see, first of all, I showed you why you constipated in relationship. Then I showed you about your self-image constipation. And then we're going to go to something that I know y'all don't want to hear, but it's finances. Yes, yes, yes. It all ties together. This is 3 parts. I can add other parts, but we're going to go into this. Constipation, I'm going to recap. Being physically constipated, you literally can't pass stool. I translate that spiritually. It means you can't let your past go. You in an unforgiving state. And we talked about that with your ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, ex-wife. It can be your co-workers. It can be your boss. And then we talked about that with self-image. The self-image, you don't forgive yourself. You hurt because you might have been in some kind of, something might have happened. You blame yourself because you didn't finish your education. You blame yourself because somebody put a seed that you was ugly and you just constantly I don't feel deserving. I know it's deep. It's deep. Those 2 episodes was deep. Now let's go to finance. Well, Miss P, how did this have anything to be with what do this have to do with finance? Well, let's go ahead. Physical constipation is a lack of dietary fiber influence fluid, and it's also lack of exercise. Let's translate that to spiritual. It means you have a lack of soul food. I didn't say this in the other ones, but you also have a lack of fluid. The physical realm, you should be drinking lots of water. And a lot of y'all don't drink water. You drink soda and you think you're doing something good to your body. Because you know what? Maybe I need to do I need to do health. I think I'm going to do that. Now, let's go forth. And even the exercise. Spiritually, you have to exercise your mind. Meditation, affirmation, and prayer. Okay? That's the spiritual side of it. So I'm just recapping. Now we know that you got the relationships constipated, self-image constipated. We went and solved those issues. Now you're ready to solve your finances. Okay? Yes, people do come to me for their finances. Yes, believe it or not. Some of you say, well, where's your credentials? I have credentials and I have a master's degree, and I'm not bragging. This is for you who need help. I'm certified as a holistic health practitioner, so I can help you with that. And financially, I did take up accounting. I took it up, but I didn't finish. And then I have lots of coaches. I always said Kobe, the late Kobe Bryant. intrigued me because he had lots of coaches. And I'm going to tell you, you got to have lots of coaches, or you get one coach who know a little bit about this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And that's the beauty of it, is that I know about a lot of stuff. But they can know, but do they have testimonies? Do they have people who have manifest? And I have those too. That's the main thing. I help people in all areas. Now, let's go and dive into this. Well, Miss P, is this biblical? Ha, 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 ha. Let's go. Yes, it is. You don't believe me? Let's see what God have to say. 3 John 2. Get your Bible out. If some of y'all don't know that, you can just go online, go on your phone. And let's look at 3 John 2. God said, "Beloved, I pray that you will prosper and in all things be in good health, just as your soul prosper." This is for those who say, you know what, God don't want you to prosper. This is for those who let the lies that we was told generations ago, and then it just forward to our next generation, that you're supposed to be poor. Christians, you're supposed to be poor. I can't give myself with so much because I want to give others. You have no voice. You have no voice. Therefore, you have no platform. And if you don't have no platform, who are you going to help? And you say, I'm going to help my neighbor. Do you think your neighbor wants you to help them if you walking around and you are looking like you need help? Think about it. If there's a poor man on the street and he say, hey, wait a minute, come over here. He got his horn, you can hear him. And he's like, come over here, let me teach you the basis or advanced financial tools on how to get rich. You're going to look at that man and keep on moving. But if Oprah get up there and say, join my online webinar to learn the tools of being rich, you know how many people around the world will come? Because she already got a platform. Okay, maybe you saying, okay, that's Oprah, I'm going to the extreme. But how about the content creators on social media? When the ones who have a lot of millions of followers, and some of them have thousands, if they put up a webinar and invite you, you want to go because you have proof behind the pudding. Did I say that right? So you understand what I'm saying. You have to have a platform, and sometimes your platform may be small, but God said multiply. That's why even in my book I talked about, I have nothing against those churches that don't grow. But you only going to go as high as your leader. Hello? Even in the job, I have had people come to me with their careers and they be like, oh, wow, it's time for me to go because I can't. They have a ceiling. Do you understand? Limited. But then you got those companies, those big companies like Apple, Facebook, Fortune 500 companies that literally what happens is they expanding. They start going overseas. It's opportunity. You hear people say on HGTV, oh, I really wanted to go overseas. And then I looked and found out my company have companies that spread out. Those are companies that's constantly evolving. Even in the spiritual realm, when you are stuck with 15 members, that's fine to start. I mean, Joyce Myers, from what I recall, started in her basement. And a lot of people start Bible study in their basement, in their home, and God will multiply it if God is signed up with it. This is why I said in the beginning, you got to be linked to that higher consciousness. Still don't understand what I'm saying? Because, see, God will do the work. And I feel when you sitting there and you just don't expand or multiply, you're like the talent in Matthews, where they said the talent, God was disgusted at the ones who had the talent and hid it. This is why the late Miles Monroe always said, you know where the people with the most talents are? They in the graveyard. Where am I going with this? What I'm trying to say to you, you can't help your neighbors. You can't help your family unless you get a platform. You won't have a voice. Now, a lot of y'all will be linked up to somebody, and you will learn and you will get your voice because you're an extension of that particular company or spiritual leader. So it's very vital that you understand God wants you to prosper. Let's go to another one. Ecclesiastes 10:19. He said, a feast is made for laughter, wine makes merry. We'll talk about that one day, because y'all think as a Christian, oh, I cannot have no wine. Okay. And then he said, but money answer everything. What? Digest that. A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes merry. But money answers everything. Miss P, I ain't never seen that. Of course you didn't. You're not going to see that unless you know your Bible. One of the things I mentor with my teams, Whispervise team, they have to know, they had to go through a lot of studying. And one of the things they had to know their Bible. They might not know every scripture because it's a constant, continuous teaching. But you better know, they at least know where to go find something, or they ain't not going to look at you. I ain't never heard of that. Yes, I mean, you have to go ahead and read that Bible, the whole Bible. You know why? Because these things you won't know. Well, Miss P, I don't believe that. Okay, you don't believe it. Do you live in an apartment or maybe a house? Do you have a car? Do you have clothes on your back? Hello? How did you get it? Through money. You still don't believe me? At the first of the month, in the beginning of the month, go to your landlord and say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any money to pay you. See what happened. Go to the checkout with your food. I dare you to stand up there and say, I have no money, but I got God in me. Popo is coming to get you. Popo is coming to get you. Yes. That's the problem with, I don't even know if I want to say that. I would say religious Christians. That's what my book is about. You got these shackles and you think everything is like, I can just say God. Even actresses and the best entertainers out there, stars. I know who God is. No, you don't. They use it as a clutch, as a fad. Know who he is, and then you will understand the words that I'm speaking when I say, open up your Bible. People will get in arguments about money. People kill over money. What do you think bank robbers are doing? You think they just going in there because they want to prove that they can rob something? Well, I'm just not into it. You talking about money. I want to just keep on moving on. You can keep on moving on and stay in debt the rest of your life. But I'm here for the people that's ready to not only know who they are, but live in their promised land. Somebody once told me y'all know this one. If you are a religious Christian, you know money is the root of all evil. Yeah, it's the cause of it. It's the beginning of it. Only because you walked away from God and then you worshiped it. Money is the root of all evil because you made it your God. Well, Miss P, how do you serve money? You don't. Money serve you. You have to master it. This is why you should never be an idol. I think somebody said something about they stream through social media when they don't have nothing to do. You can go through, YouTube University, but you have to be careful. You can go through Facebook College, whatever. You have to be very careful because if you got that much time on your hands, you need to go to a real university or a real college where you are going to be certified, specialized, or you're going to have a diploma, a degree. Because if you're that bored, you are an idol. It's all right to go to these places, but do they have any credentials to send you? Last I heard, YouTube will give you a credential, a plaque, but you better have a whole bunch of subscribers. They making them money and they'll make you money. You see, money, and money. Let's look at the last one. This is one of the biggest things. People, you Christians out there, or any kind of religion, same God, different name. And you say, okay. You made your point. I work at so-and-so. I'm doing good. My family doing good. I own a home. I have several cars. But please don't talk about this. Don't talk about this. And yes, I am going to talk about it. Those of you who don't want to hear it, I am going to say it loud. You must pay tithes. Oh, I can't do this. I'm not giving my money to these pulpit pimps. Did I say that? Pulpit pimps. I'm not doing it, Miss P. I'm not doing it. No, you don't have to. I'm going to literally give you the hack of tithing. You don't have to give it to a church. I know they want you to believe that. You can give it to a cause that you believe in. You can give it to a foundation, a hospital foundation. You can go ahead and give it to something you really believe in. I say give it to someone. It can be an individual. It can be somebody with a small company that you're giving your tithes to because you're saying, I'm invested in you. That's what investment is. Because I believe when you invest, you believe that particular company or product is going to expand. You might be using it and say, honey, I use this. I love it. It's just the same as when you give your tithes. Don't believe the hype. You don't have to give it to a church. Because technically, when you give it to that church, you said, I want you to prosper. You're doing good. I want you to prosper so you can go ahead and help more people. I'm going to be the silent partner. I'm going to pay my tithes. It's just like the company. You got people that come and invest in companies. That was a mouthful. Let's see what God say. Malachi 3:10. Bring all your tithes into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. And try me now in this, says the Lord of hosts. If I will not open the window of heaven and pour out for you such a blessing that there will not be room enough to receive. If I will not open for you the window of heaven and pour out for you a blessing that there will not be room for you to receive, room enough to receive it. I'm telling you, that's Malachi 3:10. He's trying to tell you, like he told Abraham, I don't understand it. I don't say no, because you don't understand that God is a spirit and you should worship him in spirit and truth. You don't see this stuff. Physically, you're going to pay your tithes. You just don't get it. Something's going on in the spiritual realm as soon as you go ahead and sow that seed. It's just like it's likened into the farmer sowing his seed. If the farmer don't sow his seed, he's not going to reap a harvest. You are sowing your seed to reap a harvest in the physical realm. Even though physically you're going there, it's a mental thing. You physically going to drop it in whatever you drop it in. You know, Miss P, I'm going to challenge you on this. I don't care. I'm not pulling out my 10% for nobody. You know what? It's all right. That 10% is going to come out. It's going to come out in your medical bill. Every time you get paid, something's going on with your car. I'm not talking about life don't come. But see, then when you pay your tithes, God will come in there. Oh, my car need this. And God has showed you financially how to put that money aside. Or somebody will just come up and you get an unexpected check. I seen it because you know what? Hey, well, Miss P, how I'm going to pay tithes and I'm on a fixed income. Hello, I was on a fixed income. My higher source said, wait a minute, don't tie my hands. And I went on and I paid. And I was under a church who said, no, if you're on a fixed income, do not pay tithes. I went on and started paying tithes. And every time I paid, God just made room for something to happen, for me to go higher and higher. And people were just coming and giving to my bosom. Did I become a millionaire right there? No, but I had opportunities that I was like, okay, I'm not on fixed income no more. This was decades ago. See, I'm not going to tell you nothing that I don't know. I experienced this. You can tithe your way out of poverty. Did you hear me? He said, God wants you to try him, test him. It'll say in some different versions. Well, Miss P, I just wasn't taught that. But listen, that money's coming out anyway. It's coming out your behind, constipated. Guess what? You got to go to the doctor because you can't. Oh, I can't physically. You become constipated. Oh God, I can't. I mean, Lord, I can't. Yeah, it's gonna come out. Tax return. I owe the IRS money, but God will always make a way that I can pay them. You behind the taxes for what? 5 years? You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna come out in child support. They're gonna come after you behind. Do you understand? For those of you who do not get it, continue living the way you are living. This is a secret hack of tithing. Once you know who you're going to give your tithes to, and sometimes multiple, you might go to the Cancer Society. You may go to the, oh boy, what do they call that? It's just different ones. You may go to this society for the kids, or it may be just all of the life things like hurricane victims, all kind of stuff. You should be able to give. Oh, I'm going to put my money over here. I'm going to put my money over here. God sees everything. You still not convinced? Well, let's go to something else. Let's go to the names of those you would never imagine who tithe. And these are famous people. William Colgate. Yes. James L. Kraft. Yes. Kraft food, Colgate, you know what that's representing. And then we have Henry John Hines. That's the ketchup. Why are they tithing? You don't think they knew something? They knew something. And they not all going, giving it to a church. You notice that especially every year, at the end of the year, they're just giving their stuff, millionaires, number one, for tax reasons. But God said it's okay, because if that's the way I'm going to get your 10%, I'll do it. You notice that in the supermarket now, everywhere, well, the supermarkets, they have something. Do you want to give to so and so and so? You getting some money is going. That money's going to come out either way. Some of you are working 3 jobs. I can't afford to tithe. You can't afford not to tithe. Personally, I have seen people that I have taught about tithing. I've seen them come out of dilemmas that I couldn't even tell you, because something is going on in the spiritual realm when you tithe. Now, okay, Miss P, these are literally famous people. Yeah, but all of them have a story. They didn't start off famous. Let's look at the billionaires that tithe. Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, Henry Ford. You have no excuse. Are you going to be a John D. Rockefeller? You might not. I heard that they continue leaving a legacy to help people. I didn't mention people tied to colleges. It's an organization out there that needs your help. You want to help people? Start doing your tithe and giving it to the homeless shelter, the soup kitchen. Go give your tithes to these organizations. I like the fact that if it's going straight to a community or a person, where that money's going. I mean, so I'm supposed to make them wealthy? Your 10% ain't making nobody wealthy. But I guarantee you, when you go ahead and bless somebody else with those tithes, or sow that seed in the ground and get it in the ground, you don't worry about who is getting rich from it. A lot of y'all be like, I mean, the pastor's getting rich. Hey, listen, a good pastor supposed to prosper. He representing God. A pastor, prophetess, priest, all of them should be prospering. Then you get mad. But let me tell you, you can get mad and pull your money from them if you are not prospering, because they supposed to be teaching you. And if they not, take your money and go and do what the millionaires did. Just put it in with a particular company. Cancer research, children, all of that stuff. You can do it. I'm telling you, you can't afford to not do it. Now let's go forward. Since you know about the tithing, you want to get out of the poverty mindset. This is how you move on. Some of you started with 10%. Start with 1%, then 5%. Work yourself up. You get to the 10%, it ain't gonna be nothing. Some of you are paying double tithes, and these people was paying double tithes, a lot of them, because you're bringing your mindset, your consciousness to a higher level. Embrace prosperity consciousness. How do you do that? That's a whole nother class. Contact me for that. With that in mind, we're going to go back to why your bowels are blocked. You constipated. And the physical symptoms of constipation, we spoke this before. I'm going to recap. Severe pain in your belly. Let me change that to spiritual. Spiritually constipated, severe pain in your body, mind, and soul. Physically, you got severe cramping sensation in your belly. Spiritually, severe shortness in your basic needs like food, clothing, and housing. And I'm going to go ahead and also include education. Physical constipation, you're throwing up. You're throwing up. It's coming out through the other end. Spiritual constipation, you're cursing like a mad man or the mad woman. Your words are coming out crazy. Everything that come out of your mouth is lack. You're throwing up lack. I can't afford it. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. Okay, listen, I'm guilty this time, so I have to say, wait a minute, stop it. Let me stop it. Oh, you got to get yourself together and come back to that higher consciousness. Physical constipation, you have the feeling of fullness or swelling in your belly. Let's translate that to spiritual. Feeling of chronic illness, lack of education and work, health, or transportation. You just don't feel right. You just don't feel, you just know everything is wrong. Physical constipation, you have a loud sound in your belly. You know the thing. Everything's hurting and rumbling in there. Translate that to the spiritual part. It's a silent cry for knowledge and wisdom. That's your desires crying. Saying, I want to go from my apartment to the house. I want to drive a car that's not a lemon. I want to get some specialization if you're not college material. Some of you say, well, I just wait. No, you won't. Physical constipation, feeling gassy, but being unable to pass gas. Oh, Miss P, that's nasty. No, it's not. You do it all the time. Morning, noon, and night. All them beans you eat. Come on. Let's translate that to the spiritual. Feeling of high stress and low energy. When your money is not working for you, you ain't no good. You no good to society. You are stressed because you say, oh my God, my rent is due. Oh my God, my light bill is due. How I'm going to pay this? So your energy gets so low. You know what that is? Your low energy is your low consciousness. I said it. Your low energy is your low consciousness. Finally, physical constipation, you won't be able to, the bottom line, you won't be able to get on that commode and pass the stool. Oh, I know. But y'all, some of y'all saying, yeah, but guess what? You couldn't pass this morning, yesterday, and the day before. So I'm helping you here. Finally, spiritual symptoms are constipation. It means that you have no vision. You can't even dream. And some of you dream, and that's all you do is dream with no action. I'm going to be so-and-so and so-and-so and so. I want to support me. I'm going to be so. And how they going to support you if you ain't completed the last 5 dreams? Everybody got one of those in your family? Let's see what God says. Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. The universal law. Can I give you that secret? God got laws out there. If you don't believe me, I said it many times. Go ahead and get on the highway. Unless you're on the Autobahn in Germany, get on the highway and start driving 150 miles per hour and see what happens. Po coming to get you. Go into a bank and say, can I have $1 million? Po coming to get you. Go to your landlord. And actually, you don't have to go to her. Missing in action, MIA. Don't pay your rent for the next 3 months. In some cases, 1 month. Popo coming to get you with a different uniform, the sheriff. You got to get out. So I think y'all got it. Money is the answer to everything. And last but not least, I remember somebody said to me, money is the root of all evil. Get that out your head. It's the seed that you serve, and it will become the beginning of evil because you made it your God. Money must serve you. And I had someone say, money's the root of all evil. And I said to them, so why are you getting up working? Ask yourself, why do you work every day? Why do you work overtime? Why are you working 2 jobs? Why are you working 3? Why do you have several side gigs if money is no good? You're doing it for money. So listen, contact me because you need that vision. I can help you visualize and manifest your promised land. But we got to get over these constipation. Now, Miss P, could you go ahead and help us with the physical constipation? Because you know what I am. Last time I checked, I am constipated. I am not a medical doctor. This is the disclaimer. I cannot cure your issues. But I can tell you what, I can help you in the spiritual realm with your issues. So with that being said, thank you for being a part of this journey. It's time to go out and manifest your dreams. Share the podcast on social media to help others. Share your success stories and testimonies so they can be inspired. Don't miss out on ordering your book, Spiritology. It's on Amazon, y'all. Keep manifesting and achieving your goals. What's new? Well, I'm on different platforms live. So what you can do is you can go ahead and find me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, and just share it. I'm giving you dessert and entrees, appetizers, but the real meal is in my book. And remember, if loving yourself is right, you don't want to be wrong.